think the crypto market has taken it much worse than we expected.
Why?
I think part of it is the crypto industry doesn't have any leverage right now.
We can get to 40,000. 40,000.
Honestly, looking at the market right now, it is ugly. Bitcoin is sliding and altcoins are bleeding bad. Everyone on my timeline is losing their mind, but I actually think this is a historical entry point. Why? Because all the fake hype and excess risk has been basically stripped away. The media is trying to scare you to think that the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, is some kind of monster who is here to kill crypto.
I think the media narrative is that amongst the choices of Fed chairman, that Warsh is the most hawkish and less likely to cut rates. That's what I'm seeing reported in major media outlets.
But the actual numbers showed a complete opposite. Today I'm breaking down why a massive emergency rate cut is coming and why Ethereum is quietly becoming the backbone of the entire financial system. If you want to make life-changing money, you need to stop watching the red candles and start watching where the liquidity is flowing. Also, hit that subscribe button because every single day I'm going to be uploading a new video on what the market's doing and where I'm putting my own money. So let's talk about this Kevin Warsh guy. If you watch any kind of news, they are calling him a hawk. They say he's going to keep the rates high and starve the market of cash. I think this is the narrative to get you to sell your bags. Look at the actual facts. Warsh is a former Fed governor and people really respect him. Plus he's one of us, he holds around $750,000 in Bitcoin and Ethereum just in his own personal wallet. Analysts are starting to price in more rate cuts because Warsh knows how to lead the board. He isn't here to kill the market. And in my opinion, Trump would have never nominated a guy if he wasn't planning on cutting rates. Trump wants growth and Warsh is a guy who knows exactly how to fix the economy without breaking it. I'm calling it now. I think we're going to see an emergency 50 basis point cut within the next month. The reason is simple. Real-time inflation is actually falling way faster than the official government numbers show. The official CPI is overstating things by almost 2%, and we're finally seeing good deflation and service costs finally chill out. The Fed, well, Jerome Powell can't wait any longer. Between AI boosting productivity and the stock market tanking, they have the perfect time to pivot. And when those rates do start coming down, you're going to see hard assets such as Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, the stock market, all start putting in all-time highs again. You also have to look at what happened in Chicago. I mentioned it yesterday, but the Metropolitan Capital Bank just failed. It's the first US bank failure of 2026, and this is a massive red flag that the old banking system is starting to crack under pressure. This is exactly why we've seen the Treasury start stockpiling cash and over $200 billion just this month. They're getting ready for an incredibly volatile ride for the next 6 months, but every time a bank fails, the digital gold narrative for Bitcoin gets a massive boost. This is why Larry Fink and the big institutions are starting to move in at the highest speed in history. They know the old system is just about to collapse and they're preparing for the future. But talking about the future, one of the most undervalued assets right now you could buy, in my opinion, Tom Lee's opinion, and Larry Fink, we all agree that Ethereum is severely undervalued. Tom Lee and Larry Fink both believe that the entire world is going to end up running on one common blockchain, and the probability of that being Ethereum is incredibly high. It's the only one with security and uptime that Wall Street actually trusts. So looking at Tether, they've got about 300 employees and they're making roughly $20 billion a year. They are literally more profitable than, say, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and every single big bank are seeing those profits, and they're going to be, over the next 5 or 6 years, they're going to be looking to build their own stable coins on Ethereum just to get a piece of the market share. At the end of the day, human psychology never changes. At the top, everyone believes they're a genius and it's going to the moon. And at the bottom, everyone's freaking out. They're capitulating. They're saying it's going to zero. But it's very, very rare that the retail are ever correct in this situation. And if you look on X in a moment, you'll see almost everyone is shouting that we're going to zero. But I mean, looking at the analytical side of things, you'll see that the retail have capitulated at the highest rate since 2020. And you'll see the smart money, so people owning more than 10 Bitcoin in their wallets, have accumulated Bitcoin at the highest rates ever. So there's a clear differential between a retail and smart money at the moment. So although smart money might not be immediately right in the short term, they've always been correct in the long-term vision. So I mean, we may drop down to maybe 50, 60,000, but if you're entering for the first time at Bitcoin at 75,000, what's the difference on a long-term vision when we go to 500 to $1 million over the next 5 to 10 years? For me personally, I've been putting cash aside for the last couple of years, waiting for this exact moment. So in terms of price for Ethereum, I'll be looking at picking up and pulling the trigger around the 1,500, 1,600 mark, and for Bitcoin would be around 50 to 65,000. And I'm not saying this has to happen, but if we are to drop down to the 200-week moving average like we've seen in every single cycle so far, the price would be around $55,000 to $65,000, and Ethereum's not going to hold up above 2,000 if we're seeing Bitcoin drop another $20,000 from here. So although I believe the bottom will be 55 to 65,000, it isn't guaranteed, which is exactly why I have buy orders at 75,000, 70,000, 65,000, 60,000, all the way down to about 45,000, just in case we do see a capitulation. Again, I'll be sharing every single transaction that I make, either on X, Discord, or on YouTube, where I'll be uploading every single day. So hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.